Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Trent Austin from Austin Custom Brass. Happy Friday. I was downstairs practicing and I decided that I'd do a comparison. Someone's asked about a comparison between the Adams A1, the new Generation 2, and the Edwards X13. Well, since I have both of these horns in my collection, I thought I'd do it. So let's play some fun. If you have a song request, post them. Otherwise, happy Friday if you watch this afterwards. I hope everybody's doing well and is safe right now. So we're going to do a comparison between the A1 Gen 2, which is this one, and the X13. I hope everybody is well. Let's just play. I'll play, if you have a song request, post them in the comments. Hopefully I'll see them. So, let me play that, and I'm going to go back and forth between the two horns. I thought it would be fun to do that. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Just give me a thumbs up if you can. So I just wanted to do this comparison because a lot of people said to me when I first helped with the A1 design, they go, well, it's just a copy of the X13. Well, one, we didn't have one at the factory. The X13 itself is its own beautifully unique, an amazing trumpet. This is one of mine in my collection, and I think this is one of the best horns on the market. The Edwards has this beautiful curve, you know. It has the curve of the bell. It has the very cool buttons, you know, and how they like sort of sit on top of each other. It's a very unique instrument horn. You know, like, it's really nice. It's very different than the A1. Now, let me show you on the A1 what's going on there. I mean, this does have different curves on it than a modern, say a Bach, for instance, or something. This has definitely different curvature, but it's not as narrow and it doesn't have as tall of a wrap as the Edwards. The bell is completely different. The bore size on this is medium large, and I think the Edwards is slightly larger. But you can see, hopefully that's not reversed. I'm looking at a reverse negative now, so hopefully it's not reversed on your side. I'm using my nickel slide, but there's also a brass slide with it. So let's play, I'll play a little bit of body and soul, and I'll switch between horns. Let me know what you think. First with the Adams. So that's that. Let me look at that comment. Hopefully it will come up again. Now the comments disappear on this. Okay. They both are super efficient. Both horns are super efficient. So I'll start on the bridge and finish out the chorus, and then we'll keep, please ask your questions about these horns. I don't have a lot of knowledge on the X13, other than I know it's an awesome trumpet. I have a lot of knowledge on the A1 Gen 2 because I helped design it. So let's start at the bridge. I know that will sound different because we're in a different key. that's the difference. Let me go back again. And I hope you're all doing great. It's Friday night. For me, the Adams has a little bit more spin, a little bit more carry. The Edwards has a little bit more cream to it. This isn't a great quality mic, so you might not hear that. And I'm sorry that how much is the X13? How much you got? So I think the X13 is around 4,000 US. And I know that the A1 is like 32 or 33. I'm not exact on the price because I don't have those off the top of my head. I know that the Adams is less though. I have enough because I bought it. They're both awesome trumpets. And it's like, but I just thought I was practicing. I practice on the other side of this is, that's a mess. I don't want to show it to you, but that's my, it's got some horns. Like, okay, some of the horns I have Olds recording, that's not for sale. My Bisher, my Selma radio, my Reynolds. I got an Adam C that's not for sale over there, but there's a bunch of horns over there. But we're back in the shop, so I've got most of the horns that I took while we had the stay at home are actually at the shop. So we had one in the shop, but it already sold. This one I'm probably gonna keep this Edwards because it's I just love the design of it. The sound really isn't different a lot between these two horns. It's not like you're going from something really rich and creamy with wide sound to something that's really tight and compact. Let me turn that just because it keeps changing the light. I'm sorry about that. This is not super high fidelity. This is my cell phone, but I have plugged an external mic in. Just trying to find where the notes are because this isn't my primary horn. Let's do Charlie 2. You hear that? It's got awesome connections between the notes. Totally different horn. Again, Copernicus is its own beast. I hope you can hear that's just got a little bit more spin to it. It's got a little bit more narrowness and direction. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to make this horn. If you had the opportunity to play the first generation A1, it was very wide and rich and thick, but it didn't have a lot of carry out in the hall. Let me keep going. This also has awesome connections. So I don't know, like I can hear it. It might not be coming through this mic. And this mic is, it's a Rode mic that it's not their cheap one. It's around $400, I think, for this microphone. But this isn't Copernicus. This is an A1, and it definitely is brighter, I think. on this. Again, thanks for watching. This is just spur of the moment. I was practicing. I had both the horns right there, and someone asked me, "Is like, hey, can you do a comparison between the two horns?" And I was like, I don't know. They asked me a while ago, and when we get one of these in stock, it sells really quick. For me, it's just a different feel. You know, I'm not used to this horn, and I'm very used to the A1 because that's actually the horn that I play almost all of my practicing on, is on the A1, but still very good. Great pedal C, by the way. And for me, that's always a determining factor on, and it's weird. I don't know why that I like that, but for me, that's one of my big determining factors. I'm gonna move this light a little closer. Maybe it won't. It keeps changing exposure, and it's driving me crazy. So sorry about that. But a very fluid, fun horn. X13 is, like I said, X13 I just had to have for my collection because I think it's, other than my Adams horns, which I love and play, and of course I have a tie with Adams. They're my dear, dear friends. And they allow me to help build the horns. Not build them, but I mean, every part of this horn sort of came from this empty head, so. Again, a good pedal C. Silly to think that that would be a determining factor, but every good horn I've played for myself, every good horn, the horns that line up and they lock in, they have good pedal Cs. For me, it's kind of a silly thing, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you can hear the fact that this horn just has a little bit more spin to it, and the other horn has a lot of creaminess to it. Although, if I switch mouthpieces, that Edwards gets pretty bright, which is nice. In case you're wondering what mouthpiece this is my Mount Vernon 1.5 C. So. Very nice, very even. I'm even playing this more than I'm playing my Copernicus. So. Also great though. Sorry, I missed that last comment. Let me see if I can bring it back up. This Edwards is raw brass, and I hate raw brass, but yeah, because it makes my hands smell. But I think raw brass is also, for a manufacturer, it's the closest to the original design, but this is raw brass. Let's play something. Very easy to play. And again, this is a big mouthpiece for me. It's a Mount Vernon 1.5, which is actually a little bit bigger than a traditional 1.5 size. So. I can hear that's being a little bit brighter. But it's very close. It's very, very close in terms of how the two horns are to each other, which is interesting because I've always loved that Edwards. So when I went to design the A1 with Adams, I said I want a horn that looks awesome, and I think this horn looks incredible. It's got great lines, great symmetry. Definitely, Robert, great point. These two companies make the best valve blocks, I think, Edwards, and which use the Gatson valves, of course, and Adams, which they own Bauer & Feind. So, and I think they're both the best valve blocks, the longest lasting, the best fit. The differences of the horns, I did talk a little bit about that at the beginning, and in case you're just tuning in, this is very much a spur of the moment. Hey, I've got these two horns in my practice room, let's check them out. The X13 has a slightly larger bore. The wrap of it is very wide. It's got like a Constellation sort of like very wide, tall wrap from the entrance or the exit of the valve block to the top of the bell, and then it has that very unique curve, which I love, and I think that's partially to shrink the distance of the horn, so your ear is closer to the bell, so you get a little bit more of a feedback response on the Edwards. It's much more immediate, I think, but it doesn't sound like it takes that away from the projection out in the hall. The valve block is beautiful. It's got those, I just call it sitting over. It's not like a recessed, but it has that. In case you're wondering, these have metal guides in there right now, so I don't know if you can hear that. You hear those metal guides clicking. I'm not a huge fan of the way metal guides sound, especially on a microphone, but I love the way metal guides play. In my Adams, I have both metal and nylon guides, and I prefer the nylon just for recording's sake, but I prefer if I was playing outside, and I played that Edwards outside in a concert a couple nights ago, so I put the metal guides in. The Adams has also a different shaped exterior of the bell. We added a protective and a little bit longer ferrule here, so it has a little bit more resonance because of that. The tuning slide is also shaped in a teardrop. It's not fully rounded and it's not ovated. It's different, and we tried brace here, we tried unbraced, we tried double brace, we moved the brace all through the horn, we changed these braces. If you'll notice on the A1, this brace here, I don't know if you can see that, is totally different than this brace. This brace is more like an older Besson style brace where it has a lot of contact, and we moved this pretty far up. That way we get a lot of precision and stability in the horn. And we tighten the wrap a little bit between the bell and the lead pipe, so we have smaller flanges and braces on these. So, but they have a lot of contact point on this brace. So the old adage is everything affects everything, and by changing one thing, you change a lot. On the A1, there's a whole new bell, all new lead pipe and bell. These were bells designs that Adams wanted to try out, but they have, as you can see, hold on, as you can see, there's tons of Adams already in design, so they're like, we're not going to just change it up. But we wanted to change the A1 because when we go to a trade show, hopefully we'll get to go to a trade show again in the future, people play the A1 first. And we wanted a horn that people would really react positively to, even if it's not their vibe. This horn plays great for a classical player. If you're playing, I don't do this, I'm sorry. Whatever, if you wanted to do that, or if you wanted to play whatever you want to play on this horn, you can. And I think there's a very similar thing to the Edwards. To me, it sounds darker. I don't know if that comes through with the microphone. Sorry. will say I have way more playing experience on the A1. So I know how that horn plays. We just got this in maybe a week or two ago. But it's awesome. It's so much fun. You guys have questions about the horns, post them here. If you want to hear something between the two, like I'm going to play, I love playing those Phil Collins horn lines. So let's play Hanging Long Enough on both horns. This will be loud, I'm sorry. So even though it's a dark horn, it can get pretty bright. I think on the Adams will be a little brighter. Again, that's the general vibe of this horn though. This is a little bit tighter in the feel. That, again, that's a slightly larger bore, so you could feel that. It's not a huge difference, but you definitely feel it. And I feel like the lead pipe on the Edwards might be a little bit more open. I don't know. I don't know anything about the specs, which I kind of like. Versus this horn, I know exactly what the Venturi is. I know what the gap is set up. So I missed a couple comments there, so hold on. So let me see if they come back again. Yeah, that's always a good one. That I'm not going to play that pentatonic line, but do you prefer silver or normal lacquer? I hate silver plate, and the reason for it is silver tarnishes, and I just don't. I'm also allergic to silver and gold. It's kind of a weird thing, so it makes my hand like not raw, but it burns. And I love the finish of that Adams can do. Also, I had a couple years ago, I think before we moved our shop, I had a gold-plated one of these X13s. It was gorgeous. It was maybe the most beautiful trumpet I've had in my collection, and it was great. So let's play another sort of lead trumpet excerpt. So, is there a big difference in slotting? They both play pretty well. They're both really efficient horns. This might be a slightly more slotted instrument, which is interesting because it's a slightly darker horn. But maybe that's just because I'm having new horn feeling. I have to be careful when I play new horns. Like the first day I play any new horn, I'm like, this is the best horn ever. And then the second, third, fourth, fifth days, it goes down. I've been playing this Adams since October, and it's still the best. So, what was I playing? Oh, that Shorty Rogers thing. Okay, cool. Ugh. Yeah, it's a little big there, so I'm trying to find the note. That I can't find the A, but that's probably more, that's definitely more me. And I can find the A on that, but I still had to bend it up. So that's probably more of an operational error than an instrument error. You know what the line is, there's not a problem in the computer, there's a problem in the chair, but that could be that. But again, if you're just tuning in, thanks for tuning in and watching. I'm sorry if I missed your comment, please post them. This is a weird interface with my cell phone, but I'm just having fun, of course. Happy Friday. Or Blur's Day, I don't know. Is it Blur's Day again? We just got back to the shop, which is really exciting, even though we can't have people in the shop, which is very sad. But we're still doing mail order, and we're still working with customers on the phones and online. So if you need anything, we can get it out. We're shipping more often, and it feels really awesome to be back. So just keep being safe, keep being distant, and you know, soon we will be staying safe. Bill, how are you? Ah, my brother. So, but yeah, it feels good to be back. So it gives a little bit a little bit more of a symmetry in terms of the overall feeling of what's going on. So, ooh. Everybody want to hear Marvin Gaye, but so that's kind of it from Trumpet Land here. I hope you all are well. If you have final questions or requests, let me know in terms of the two horns. If you wanted to hear something in particular on the two horns, that's great. If I can play it, probably can't, but you know, thank you again for your awesome support of the shop. I'll wait a little bit, so if you have any final song requests, let me know. And I'll play the X13 a little bit. I haven't really just played, so let's play something bebop-y. Oh, you know what tune I've been working on? Is this, it's not really bebop tune, but it's a Chick Corea tune called Humpty Dumpty. And I love that because it's got a nice little line there that's kind of not trumpetistic. It's not idiosyncratic. I don't know. It's late in the day. I can't talk. I saw a couple comments there. Cool. Tenderly or Autumn in New York. I love both songs. Maybe I'll play Tenderly on each horn. Can you give a brief overview of the differences in the Adams horns? I have a video on that. If you look on our YouTube channel, I have a complete lineup. At least one A1 versus A8. And maybe in the shop, since we can't open for appointments, I might do a video like this going through the whole line again. Maybe I can do that next week. If you send us an email, info@austinCustomBrass.com, it would be great to remind me. So, Pete Carroll lives right down the street from me, man. So we've got to have a hang. If you're ever visiting, let me know. And there's another great trumpet player, one of my employees, Kyle, who lives like a couple miles the other way. So we're gonna have an indie trio powwow outside soon. So, someone asked for Tenderly. So let me give you a little bit of Tenderly on both horns. And then I will play Valse Hot if you could tell me what song it's based on. Whatever. So, yeah, I can play a Bumblebee. It's not really my thing. But you think only... All right, hold on. I didn't see that. I don't know who you're mentioning. Sorry, man. So, or ma'am. I don't know. So my question was, do you know what song Valse Hot was written? It's a contrafact. They took the chord changes of a song and made it. Well, I can't really play Valse Hot. I haven't played in like you win. Very good. All right, now I have to play it. I used to know the Clifford song, so. You ever play a high B flat? Can I play Take on Me? Yes, I can, but I'm not going to. So. Yeah, I could do that. So anyways, you're getting me on a Friday afternoon, so, but. Great, Nate. How are you, my friend? We're just sort of winding up this little brief, informal A1 Gen 2 versus X13. So the other thing I got to tell people, so the scene is clean, man. You guys are calling hard tunes, or tunes I never play anymore because nobody plays gigs anymore. But if you want to hear Clifford, okay, I'll play you Clifford. Oh. Right, what's a gig? But anyways, Jordan, oh holy night, it's not Christmas. But okay. We'll see where my A wants to be. You're not going to hear a double D from me today. Sorry, but there is a limit to live noodles. So, and we get to remove you by. Okay, everybody, we're getting into the weird questions. So, happy Friday, everybody, and hope you're all great. Take care. How do we turn this off?